Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Kawaii Crew here. We are back with another Weebs of the Roundtable podcast. In this podcast, we're going to talk about our final thoughts on the winter 2022 season. So joining me right here is Mal Out of Culture, Memory NK, Ryusei Shun, and Oliver Smiley. So, as usual, we are going to go on my anime list. We're going to go at the top of the list, and we're going to work our way down. So, first episode...
Not the spaghetti...
Here's our final thoughts of the winter 2022 season. It all sucked. Bye.
Damn. It was not.
Obviously, I'm joking.
It was not a bad season. It's just that some anime is just like, oh yay. Some guy was like, oh okay. So it was just like that, to be honest. Yeah. Looking at the spring season though, what's coming out? I think it could actually be somewhat the same.
Kibi literally said it was the golden age of anime, and he might have a point. But it could be for the more casual viewers. For me, unfortunately, it's a lot of stuff. I will say that, and maybe some underrated gems, of course. But let's get back to the point here.
Yeah.
Alright, so first anime on the list appears to be Demon Slayer Season 2. Demon Slayer.
I can't hear anything about this.
Oliver, you might want to mute your audio, different yourself.
Do we have to?
I might mute. See if I can mute this. Hang on.
Yeah, just deafen yourself.
Just make sure it works. Right out.
I think he muted. I think he just muted.
No, I want to mute you guys. I don't know how I can do that.
Oh yeah, mute.
You
us.
just hit the headphone button, the deafen button.
The deafen button.
I think that's what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You good
on the Discord?
You good,
on the Discord?
Yeah, on Discord it looks like a headphone button. In the bottom left, next to your name, it's like a headphone icon.
Nice.
Should be next to the mute, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
We'll be right
not
back.
Really difficult.
If you get to know that Oliver is still on episode 4 of
cue the elevator music.
So yeah.
You know what? Maybe it'd just be better if I just walk away for a while.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, get out of here. Go do whatever. Go read manga. Go masturbate the hentai, do whatever.
No, that's Ryu. That's Ryu every day.
Oh god.
Just call me when I need to come back.
Okay. Here we go. Jane. Wow, he's out of picture.
That's the way to start it. That's the way to start the podcast.
He's on episode 4, so he don't want to be spoiled for the best part of the season. So so where do we start with Demon Slayer season 2? Well,
what do you guys think?
Season 2. So, what do I think? Obviously you can see that I have the poster there, so you can know how much I love the season 2. So animation wise, but Ufotable obviously took it to the next level. I gotta say, Ufotable really flexed in this next season.
Last stretch.
No, actually, they've been very consistent.
Well, yeah, of course it was consistent, but I'm saying that towards the end of the part was when it when they really kicked it up.
You can also say the fact that how to put this though, Ufotable, they kind of notice how important the series is, and they're basically, from what I've been told from our conversation below, that they are actually adapting to most of the scenes from the manga. They did not cut cuts to take some shortcuts. They go all the way. They adapt some of this. They even make some of the scenes very, how to compare to the manga, a lot better. How they express the facial expressions and the fight scene though. People said that the fight scene in the manga for this season is very messy, but Ufotable really made it so good, so aesthetic, and it's almost like they are trying to give it a proper justice to many of the fans and people who are watching it. They know, so I'm very happy.
They certainly elevate the source material.
Exactly.
For sure.
Although story-wise,
which is what you want. Which is what you want.
Exactly. That's why Ufotable was.
But not every studio can pull it off, obviously. So.
They are only working on this anime. Only this anime. Well, they have another project coming, but yeah, so far they're only working on this anime, and season 3 is announced. Yeah, we know that. But the thing about season 2 is just that the thing I noticed on social media, especially on the Japan side of the Twitter, like trending and stuff like that, is many fans say that Ufotable are like they that really care. They really cared for the anime so much more. So how they compare it to other studios. It's not that saying that Mappa with studio is bad. It's just that it's saying that they feel like Ufotable like is one of the studio that you like really see them putting like so much passion into it, and not just that, also like how promoting the anime to like so much the fact that it's seen everywhere in Japan. Like Demon Slayer is like a commodity now in Japan, and just the fact how Ufotable goes about to promote it is just like incredible, and that's why many Japanese fans say that this season is like one of the better seasons compared to season 1. I mean, I'm just basing off what I see on like the Japan Twitter side of things, and although the story wise, people say the story is very basic. I mean, of course, but it's just something about Demon Slayer. Something about this basic story is like how they like really tackles like the fights. The character engagement is very like straightforward, but the fight scene though, people say that in season 2 the fight scene are like the biggest highlight. Like they every episode you see is like fight, or some suspense thriller. And it's just like you just feel like every episode you just feel so motivated to see what's happened next. So that's why I gotta say the story may be simple, but it's very exciting. So
one thing to keep in
like,
mind is
it's
that
simple but like effective. I feel like, especially for like more of like a, just like normal fans, right? Like it's simple but effective, and obviously like for a lot of just normal. I mean, even like people who have been watching anime for a while, like they see what Ufotable's doing with the animation, and all that, and it's like, of course, it's like crazy. Like especially seeing stuff like that in the TV anime.
Cinema.
So yeah, I mean,
absolute cinema.
They definitely took it to another level compared to what we saw in season 1. I would even say Mugen Train, besides maybe the fight at the end with Rengoku and Akaza, like because that is still like pretty top tier, I would say. So, that's the thing though. I think most people will agree on that with Demon Slayer, is that the story and the characters are not. You saw it before, you saw it before in other series, like the formula. But I guess there's certain things I feel like it does help. You got Ufotable. They take things to another level, elevate the source material, which is what you want to have when you're adapting a source material. But like I think I said earlier, not every studio can pull it off. So, I mean, I enjoyed the season.
And that's the most important thing.
I mean, would I necessarily like? I think it is better than season 1. I will say that. I kind of I put it around the same level of Mugen Train, honestly, for me. Which I've always like, even season 1 is around that same level, but it's just a little bit below Mugen Train in this arc for me. So like Demon Slayer, I feel like has been consistent, and is like in that it's not like a masterpiece, but it's like one of the more like enjoyable things you can watch. I feel like the enjoyment factor is like super high for it. Like you're always gonna have like, for most people, you're gonna have a good time when you sit down and watch Demon Slayer. Like regardless if you like the story or the characters or whatever.
And regarding to like the story wise, I think the reason why they keep it simple and basic so that kids can somewhat enjoy it. I mean, imagine kids had to sit through the entire Fate series hearing all the talk scenes. That's why like they will not survive the talk scene. So that's why I think that's why the story fits the all age group really well. I mean, some people hate the anime because they say that it's too popular and stuff like that. I said, dude, you know that it's the reason it was popular is because every age group's talking about it, not just not just like kids are talking about it. Our age group is talking about it. Some people
can appeal to any
age group. Even old people watch Demon Slayer. So yeah, that's why Demon Slayer is popular, not because of the story. It's because every age group likes it. So.
Yep.
So yeah, that's why all those haters out there are just like, they're just there.
I mean, that's just gonna come with it, right? When anything gets like super popular, you're just gonna see like a just mass like amount of haters come out of nowhere. I mean, that's just how it goes.
So I don't mind people like hating the story, but I will hate them if they just downright just say all those things without like really put much emphasis into it. So. So I just need to put it out there that like when Demon Slayer season 2 finished, there were some tweets out there that kind of ticked me off. So
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like giving your opinion that like, oh, you may not like the characters or you may not like the story.
I'm
like,
fine with that.
Yeah, there's like a line that is like has to be like you have to draw a line where it's like, okay, you don't cross this line where like people like attack the staff or they attack the author, like that, like stuff like that is where you like just draw the line.
Exactly.
Obviously, people don't do that, but I mean, there's just when people are gonna be however they are on social media. It's just always gonna be a thing. Honestly, like there's a lot of trolls, there's a lot of assholes. That's just what comes with it. Honestly.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest like criticism people have for this season 2, it mostly comes with Daki, her sexual appeal and stuff like that. Like you saw the meme of being censored in China, right? Like, and Nezuko like demon
Not
form
surprised.
too.
Yeah,
Not surprised at all.
Got nerfed or whatever.
To be honest, though, I've seen more people like criticizing Nezuko form than, oh my god, look at her being badass. But still, man, just come on. Man. Just
she's 14. We can't have this. Oh, people are finding her attractive, a fictional character. No. They're
have you seen other anime characters? Seriously,
why do people forget that this isn't something new with sexualizing 13, middle school aged characters? Like this isn't fucking. You like I've already mentioned before. I think a few times Evangelion, like Oscar and Ray. Like
it just gets.
The thing is it's over sexualized, but it's not like. No, I have my whole thing with Evangelion, but it's just like it's not some like trying to put aside whether or not that affects the writing, like how Oscar and Ray look. That is. There's something about that, and then this. Well. With Oscar and Ray, like it's I don't know if I want to say realistic, but it's just like it's kind of believable with that. Whereas with Nezuko and Daki, because of how they are, people might look at it the wrong way. But I mean, we have to remember it's still fiction. The authors want to portray it how it is.
Yeah, and it's
we could still judge. We could still. There's a time and place where we still judge it, but at the same time, just like we kind of have to remember, it's still fiction, and there's still fiction in the end.
Yeah.
Like we can't just overreact like on how they depict it. We have to just kind of take a step back and just like, maybe that's not the biggest problem I would have. Like, do like maybe more important things you want to address, other than just something as trivial as the physical depiction of a character.
Yeah, and I hate that this is still even an issue too. I mean, we had this discussion back when Uzaki-chan, like, was airing as well. Like,
there was this one idiot. There was this one idiot that posts someone that looked like real life that was literally having Uzaki-chan's.
Oh, I heard that. And he photoshopped like a baby onto the cosplayer's face. I was like, oh, this is what you guys are into?
Yeah, I saw
this
that.
What you weebs are into?
That's
that was like
that's
one of the
weird
things.
It's so.
I really do not know.
Weirdo.
That's just being weird, because that's the general proportions. But we have to remember these are fictional characters, so that sort of design, so they're exaggerated to fit what they're being put into, which is an anime, which is technically like a Japanese cartoon. Do you really think that like try to imagine Doofenshmirtz, a real life Doofenshmirtz from
damn.
Like how the fuck do you go about with that? Right? I'm just saying.
Wow.
Okay. It gets blown out of proportion too, and it's to a different like magnitude because of just how popular Demon Slayer is. So
people just find ways to like criticize the anime, even as small as just like it's just a character in the anime. Why you guys just talking?
Yeah,
like talking so much about it.
There's other issues. There's other things you could point out that
are
way more important than that.
I've already voiced my leanings before, like why I don't like Demon Slayer, but it's not because of that. People need to get into their heads. Like, this is not where you have to draw criticism.
Like, yeah, I made it this far into Demon Slayer. Nezuko gets a buff. I'm dropping it.
If another problem is related to that, you can kind of draw the dots. But if your number one focus is on a sexualized depiction, then
talk about how she got that form just in general in the first place. Like talk about that or something.
Like, can we also just? This isn't the first time something like this happened.
Nope, not
Gong Freaks from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
let's not talk about how he turned into an adult. I bet with a cost. And people are not going to talk about that. Like, oh shit, he fucking grown up. Also, he reached puberty and just like. That's sort of the same thing, but because Nezuko is Nezuko, and y'all know how those people on the internet be like that with Nezuko, and then we just see him, she all looking swollen, like literally had her chest size is enlarged, and of course it's gonna get people livid, but because like. Why Gong's case would not be as looked down upon because he's a guy, but then you see Nezuko's place. There's also, I hate to say this, there's also some sexism in there too. There's just like that's just there's a lot of silly things going on when it comes to people outraging about that. It's disgusting to see all over on Twitter or any sort of platform, honestly. And I'm just like, it's a little weird, but is that where I'm gonna have my criticism? No, my criticism will be started elsewhere, not some pathetic shit like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's interesting you mentioned sexism because there are some Twitter users who like they complain about lolis and it's sexualizing other female characters, and yet those are the same type of people that will like sexualize depictions of like male My Hero characters, even though they're like teenagers. So like by their own logic, they should be the very thing they're accusing other people of. Like that's the reality you see with a lot of these other like Twitter antis and all that. It's so stupid.
I feel like a lot of them are honestly like a lot of them just have to be like they're not mature, obviously. Like there's no way like the majority of these people. The majority of them can't be grown. They have to be like 13. I swear, they have to be like. Oh my gosh, I mean, some of the like
14, 15.
It just blows my mind. I'm like, if these people are grown adults, Jesus.
Their fathers.
Some of them are.
I know I have
clearly like a father figure.
My frustrated moment. I know I have my frustrated moments, but when I see people like that, I'm just like I just feel like I'm just arguing with elementary schoolers who try to sound smart because by checking up Google and trying to tweet something smart. Like this is like they only do this shit for the clout and then just have everyone just ride it. It's stupid. All they want is clout. All they want is noise. All they want is to feel some sort of they want some sort of self-fulfillment and all that. It's like an ego shit thing. It's gross. It's gross. And I hate that that anime talks are involved in this too. Or with any sort of entertainment. Like it all comes down to like, oh, I do not all because like, oh, I don't respect your opinion. I don't respect your opinion. Like, here's the thing. It's okay. I don't care if you don't like a particular show, but if you're gonna come on and spout nonsense about shit, like utter stuff that I know is totally fucking wrong, I have a problem with that. I will likely just go at like you don't. That's a problem I have. Like, and I wish people just fucking grow up with that. And it gets frustrating to deal with it. Like I would just lose my cool with these sort of people because all they just do is just jibber jabber and like even when they literally have everything explained to them, it's stupid.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah,
it's not even
to the
worth
internet.
getting, like, worked
Yeah,
up over.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. It's being a dead horse, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can easily just mute.
It's hard
them.
to ignore certain
That's-
shit for real, but like most of the time, I just try to tell myself like it's not even worth it, bro. Like
It's not even worth it.
like they're just getting what they want, and I'm getting upset over it. Like, why would I give them what they want? It's just like.
I mean, if I see something like that, I just like just report, just delete. I just don't care.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I don't
would
blame
probably
any.
just do not interested, click, show less, click.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I don't
exactly.
blame anybody.
If it's available.
That's why I don't blame anybody from like taking a break from social media in general and like just focus on their mental health. Because Twitter and a lot of other, Twitter and a lot of other social media, they can really take a toll on people's mental health. Like it's just depressing.
I've talked to a bunch of guys on my server, just like they don't really use Twitter for good reason. They'll only show up every now and then, just to talk with those who are particularly close, or to just see tweets that are being shared.
Yeah.
Other than that, not much.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Let's just go back to.
Yeah. Other than that, going back to Demon Slayer, we've been on this. Yeah.
Let's go back to Demon Slayer.
It's a tantrum right now, man.
Yeah. By the way, what do you guys think of Tengen as a Hashira? Is he better than Rengoku?
Oh man, I wouldn't.
It's about the same. It's about the same for me, honestly. It's
I think it's about
at least alive. At least he's alive. Oh
wait, Oliver, is he still muted? No, I think he's still
I don't
deaf,
think he's
right?
here.
Okay, he's still deaf. Okay, no. Crisis averted.
Okay, so Tengen at least he's alive, but with a decapitated arm, man. Yeah, I mean, still though, Tengen. I mean, he's cool. He's handsome, and he has a very sharp thinking of fighting. But still though, like we only introduced him like for this arc, and they forget about him like for future arcs because he said he's retiring literally at the last episode. So we won't see him again.
I mean, good for him. He's living.
I don't know.
Shit.
If
he's got his wife. He's got his wives.
He got 3 wives. Like shit, I want to retire with my 3 wives too. Like damn.
Guys. Actually, I did a bit of digging on the wives. You will not like this, especially for real. One of them is his cousin.
Really?
Oh, okay.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep. One of them is his cousin. I was like, oh.
You know, I'm gonna give this a benefit of a doubt. It's
surprised.
It's a different time period. You know, it's a different time. The standards are different. You know, I'm just gonna give it the benefit of a doubt. I'm just gonna move on. You know, I'm not gonna talk anything about it. Nope. I'm just gonna move on.
I didn't want to do this until I saw some tweets on Japan server say, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're cousins and they're marrying." I was like, "What? What do you mean by the cousin?" I did digging. I said, "Oh shit." And not just any like long distance cousin, close cousins. So
which one is it?
Oh, I think it's the yellow hair. I remember it was the yellow hair one.
Yeah, this is not like with Rudius and Eris and Mushoku Tensei because I think they're distant relatives. They're only just, or maybe not even blood. Maybe not even really blood. Really, like they're just under the same. They were just under the same name. Name if I remember, so it's a totally different thing. So that is surprisingly a lot more should be a lot less frowned upon. But with like Tengen's case, I would understand where it is frowned upon. But I don't think anyone really fucking cared at this point.
I mean, not really.
Not really, but yeah, back then it was like normal, but nowadays it's just like frowned upon a bit. But yeah. But still, though, like I'm really glad Tengen still got his wives to support him at post retirement, and just seeing the fact that he's been saved by lolling Nezuko, that is like, wow, that is just cute from Nezuko.
I don't want to dig into that can of worms with the whole thing where Nezuko fucking heals everyone so conveniently.
I mean, it's already been established back in like the first season, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. She can turn lolly form or something.
And she has like the fire.
But the healing.
No, I'm talking about the fire. The fire.
But the healing ability.
I think that was also because it hurts demons, but it also heals humans. I mean, that's not too far of a stretch.
No, she not healed them. She took away the poison.
Yeah, she took away the poison.
She took away the
poison.
Burned
away the poison.
She burned the poison,
burning them to death.
So the wound's still open, but the poison is gone. That's what I thought until like 50% of the comments in my last episode reaction said, no, she did not heal them. She destroy the poison, but that's why they still need treatment. I was like,
that makes
sometimes
it
it
makes more
reminds.
sense.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this sort of thing where it looks like they just where and it's like a butter anime where they just burn the poison, where they just literally just burn the poison out and they just don't really fucking explain it too well. I've seen it in a bunch of other shows like that. I don't remember. I watch too much shit, but it's just like it's kind of a given at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if in one of those series where Nezuko's convenient ability was inspired by, but I don't know. I really don't know for sure.
But anyhow, what do you guys think of Gyutaro though?
I don't like him.
I like his sister better.
Honestly, I wasn't too crazy on him as a villain.
I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be real, hold back my judgment about it because I do have strong opinions, but I'm just gonna be honest right now. I don't like Gyutaro, honestly. Like,
makes sense.
I can honestly sure, backstory kind of fucked up and all, but that's the usual shit with Demon Slayer villains, which I feel like it's been unnecessary of how they try to shove them. It's like, they're human. They're humans at one point. That's why we want to have sympathy for them. No, they're still minions in the end. Fuck off.
I mean, it's not saying. To be fair, I mean, it's not like they're trying to justify their actions or anything. It's like, but that is like the central point of this series.
I know, but it's just like, just to give a sympathy because they used to be humans. It's just so conveniently just placed as they're dying, and I'm just like,
they always do it that way too. I wish they would switch it up.
They always fucking do it. I'm not gonna spoil, but you're just a wish that you wish they could change shit up. But it doesn't really look like they're ever gonna.
I'm literally watching the episodes, and like when it was like reaching towards the conclusion, the climax of the climax of the fight. Like I'm literally like at the end of the episode. Well, we didn't see their backstory yet, so we know that's gonna come in the next episode. Like
always, man. It's coming, man.
It's the formula.
It's like, when's the episode gonna come?
So I'm just sitting there. I'm wondering how they're gonna make me feel bad.
So
to be honest, though,
would you guys prefer what were you guys say?
Okay. I was saying that the backstory, though, I was actually emotionally prepared. People were asking me, why didn't I cry? I say, is there something to cry about? I already knew it's going to be sad. I already knew there's going to be something tragedy happen to those two. I mean, I know it's tragic, but if
I'm not emotionally connected to a character,
my favorite thing about the backstory was the introduction of Doma. That's really what my
exactly.
Favorite,
that's my favorite.
That was my favorite thing about the backstory.
I used it for my thumbnail, so of course that's the best part.
It didn't even have to do with them. I mean, like Doma was involved, but I was like, damn, I cared more about Doma like this was compared to their backstory. Like, damn.
Oh well, Kawaii, what were you about to say? Sorry to cut you off there.
I was about to say, like, would you guys prefer if they show their backstory like way before they end up dying?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
I want.
I think it just depends. I think like sometimes it can work at the end, but like, I mean, from what we've saw in the series, most of the time it's always like at the end. I feel like there's just better times it can be placed. Like maybe not all at once either. Like periodically, like spread out or something.
Maybe like the part where Daki got burned in the past, then maybe we can add a bit more to the scene when Nezuko burns Daki. That would be even more impactful, I would say. But yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're going with this, like in terms of the fact that the backstory is just like is there at the end, so you're like already know it's coming and you're supposed to feel bad. But to be honest, though, I feel bad, but not to the extent of like, oh my god,
you're not bawling your eyes out or anything like that. Yeah,
I feel
like you're just obviously like, oh shit, like this is terrible, like right, but it's like
I feel like they should just do their backstories in like short little
periodically, not all at once.
Just show them just like it's just like, oh, he gets cut and then you just see the slow motion and all of a sudden there's like a camera sort of effect where it's just like an old flashback and it just shows them within a short like maybe few seconds you show like still frames of how they were suffering back when they were humans and how they turned out to be this way. You still just show them that and then just done. You just boom, they're just like that and you're just like, oh, I get it. Just that. You don't need to go.
They kind of just like force
but...
feed the shit to you. Like it's like it was like half an episode, like maybe even more than that. I don't even remember, but
it's
like you have to take all of it in at once. It's like,
bro.
Man.
I mean, at least they have a sad goodbye, and now we have a happy ending. For once, we have a happy ending for Demon Slayer. Like Mugen Train, and then we have part 3, or season 3, maybe next year or 2 years time. But yeah,
probably next year.
Anything else you want to say about Demon Slayer?
Yeah, for me, for me, in my spoiler alert, in my top 5 anime I went to 2022 video, I listed it as my number 1 anime of the season. It's just I really enjoyed Demon Slayer and Tempest District Arc. It seemed like after Tanjiro like first faced off against Daki, each episode just kept getting better and better and better. Like there were just so many memorable moments after that. Like,
I forgot to mention one thing. Like, this is the first time we see the trio work together.
Yes, that was easily, like, besides the Uzui and Gyutaro fight, that's easily one of the biggest, like, most memorable moments in the series, at least for me. Like, it was just so awesome to see them, like, work together to fight a common enemy. I mean,
that was cool.
Yeah,
that was an epic scene though. Also, the OST is like incredible by Yuki Kaji.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's why she's my favorite composer. I think I got one more to say. I think it was something to do with the fact that Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan on the same day is just like incredible, isn't it? Like you don't see this like happen a lot in seasonal animes where 2 big animes in one day. Like Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan was like taking over the training for 24 hours. I was like, this is beautiful to my eyes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, it really just made my Sundays. Like those 2 series, like airing on the same day.
And this is the best transition to Attack on Titan.
Okay, Before I do want to say, I have more of my final thoughts on Attack on Titan. I do have more of my final thoughts on Demon Slayer. So, just want to get it out really quick. We were talking about how the story of Demon Slayer was really simple, and to be fair, it's funny you guys say that because, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with a simple story. Like, it's really just a matter of how you execute it and like how the rest of the series is executed, and that's really what makes Demon Slayer so great. I mean, it has a really simple story, but the characters, the action, the animation, the comedy, everything about it is just so likable in that regard. And there was one other thing. Oh yeah. Also going back to the backstory, I know you guys have mixed feelings about the backstory, and I do too. Like I do think these demons backstories could have been done a bit better. But to be fair, did the backstory make me feel? Does it make me feel bad for Gyutaro? Kind of. Does it justify their actions? No, it doesn't. Does it make me like Gyutaro and Daki even more? Not really. But I will say I did like the backstory, mainly because it does show a pretty interesting aspect about these characters. It's because both Gyutaro and Tanjiro,
still talking about Demon Slayer. I'm coming back later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just keep yourself deafened for just a 1 or 2 more minutes. Okay. So as I was saying, both Tanjiro and Gyutaro, they both deeply care about their sisters, but as you can see, they both went down completely different paths. So it kind of goes to show if their Gyutaro and Daki's fate if their fate was just at least a little bit different, them and Tanjiro, they could have been friends. They could have been actual decent human beings like Tanjiro and Nezuko were. So I think,
and you could say the same thing for Tanjiro and Nezuko. They could have ended up how Gyutaro and Daki
exactly. Yeah, and that's why I really like Gyutaro and Daki's backstory.
I would say I like that aspect of it. I like
exactly.
That. Yeah.
But I do agree with you guys. I think these demon backstories could have been done a little bit better. And I do agree with you guys. I think if they just showed us different parts, snippets of their backstories throughout the series, instead of just all cramming it all, but before or after their death, then I think that would have been a little bit better. But other than that, Demon Slayer and Tempest District Arc, fantastic. I can't wait for season 3. I heard the arcs after that, I think the next arc or 2 after this, apparently, if I recall correctly, Demon Slayer fans saying like, "Oh, like you think Entertainment District Guard is good? You haven't seen nothing yet." So yeah, I heard. I think it's called. What was it? It's called like
The next one.
Yeah, the next arc. I forgot what it's called.
Swordsmith Village. Village.
Yeah, it might be that.
Swordsmith
I heard
Village.
that's also really fucking good. So yeah, can't wait to see that as well. But now we can move on to Attack on Titan.
All right, and we can bring Oliver back.
Oliver.
I like the back.
Yeah.
Finally.
Sorry. So yeah, we're talking about now Attack on Titan final season.
Yay.
I know you're
Final
excited. We
season.
know you're
Yay.
excited. We know you're excited. Oliver.
Yay. Final remix, final, whatever. It's like, seriously, make up your mind, Mappa.
They know how to milk a season. They know how to milk a franchise.
I don't even think it's just milking. It's probably just them not even knowing what the fuck to prioritize. Or they're just underestimating how fucking long it takes to adapt a bunch of chapters that are just long as shit.
What's more, there's only like 10 chapters left, so that's pretty much what? 6 episodes.
I think
10 episodes. 10.
I think 9.
10 episodes.
I think it was
9
episodes.
8 or 9, 10 episodes. That's it. It's rubbish, honestly. It's just like they should have just
Turn into a
continued
movie.
with the season.
Great.
I had people in
Hold
my
on.
comments. They were like, because I made an announcement video for it.
Yeah.
And I had people in my comments. They were like, "Just end it already. Just end already." Just like, damn.
I mean, they just want it to be over already. Like, seriously, like the second half of part 2 just felt so
I
dry
don't
for
know
some
why
reason.
people are saying
Bro.
that, because I mean,
Bro, this is
we knew what the episode count was, and regardless, even if it wasn't a part 3, there was gonna be a movie, and we are gonna have to wait for that probably even longer.
Oh, please don't say movie. Please don't say movie. Don't say movie.
Kind of want a movie.
I mean, maybe there might be a movie
no.
after part 3, and it's like,
Oh God.
it's
The
maybe
final
with a different
season, the
ending.
final movie.
Maybe
Let's
it's
go.
with a different ending that Isayama like wrote up or
Oh,
something.
for the love of Pete.
Oh,
No.
And then it'll be called the final season, the final movie
season, the
edition
movie.
for real.
Oh God. Please stop, man.
For real this time.
Stop.
Oh man, the memes, the amount of memes coming out of that title is just incredible, just so laughable.
Yeah.
Like just like the final remix, final part.
It's funny that
For
they
real.
actually gave it the name. It's like Attack on Titan, the final
final
season,
season, the
final
part.
edition. It's called Final Edition. I'm like,
Just call it season 4. Just call it season 4. What's wrong with that?
Call season 4, call season 5.
Then
I
next
don't
season, then part 3 call it final season. Then that makes more sense. But no, they have to say final season.
They could at least call it like season 4, 5, and 6 instead of just like splitting into 3 parts.
yeah,
Yeah.
or it's just season 4, but then when when another core comes out, you just add on to the episode count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The production committee did not have good foresight with this shit. They did not at all.
No.
Like in terms of turning the green light on for something, and they didn't know that they were just like, oh, it's gonna be final season. Oh, never mind, final season part 2. Oh no,
final season part 3.
Final season, final part. Or
I'm
part
curious
3,
though,
part
like,
4.
were they? I feel like they were like, I feel like because there were like these leaks and these rumors from like these like popular leakers on Twitter, like for Attack on Titan. They were talking about like a movie potentially being. So I'm wondering, like, did they talk about this? It was probably discussed.
it's gonna
maybe,
be
like, but
It's
they
gonna
never
be
like.
no, it's gonna be a TV series. Okay, so this may
Yeah,
not
but the
be
leaks
very
are
related.
the leaks are originally were like there was like because I follow like leakers from AOT like that have a lot of followers and they're like credible like leakers and they were talking about a movie and this was like months ago. So I'm like, were they initially talking or
Yeah,
planning
that's
a
probably
movie?
what happened. Like,
And then it changed.
yeah, it was probably like, all right, we're going to do a movie for the last bit, but then it got leaked, and they were like, okay, we'll change it to another series.
Or maybe they couldn't get the resources like necessary for it to like be
Be a
greenlit or
movie,
something.
yeah.
Maybe I mean I think they were considering a movie until they saw like 10 chapters making to a movie. I think
And there's
It would have
like
been It would have had to be like a really long movie, probably.
Unless they make it to part 1, part 2 movie, and yeah, whatever. I don't want that. Oh my god! Imagine.
Oh my god! Imagine final season part 1, part 2, final movie part 1, part 2, or some shit. Like,
seriously, the final season is either going to be the best season ever, or it's going to be the worst season ever. It can go either way, because you know my thoughts on Attack on Titan, but for you anime onlys, yeah, you may love the freaking thing.
Oh, gee. It's probably going to be like maybe 8, not maybe 8-ish episodes, which
yeah. I think the pace they usually have is like a chapter and a half, sometimes 2 an episode.
Yeah,
so.
It's very interesting. Honestly, I wasn't picking. I was completely wrong of where they would actually finish. So I will admit I completely forgot about them getting drunk at the at that campground. I totally forgot about that. I totally honestly forgot about that part of the story. So I was actually thinking, I won't say, but like, this is where they're going to end season 2. Part 2, the final season part 2, and I was wrong. So,
Oliver, I heard that the drunk tent thing was like back in like chapter like before the
it was like that's what I heard too. It's like from it was like 10 or so chapters.
Yeah, that's why
they did that a lot. They did that a lot with the final season though. They like mixed
they jumped
around.
They jumped back and forward a bit, so that you could that way you could see like. They didn't just infiltrate, like they didn't just send. Well, Eren didn't just go straight over there. And
you see how he left split.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it doesn't seem like, because before it just seemed like something kind of random, like Eren just split off from them and they're all like acting this way towards him, like what is going on? But you actually see what
led to it. I gotta say, I feel very sorry for Eren that scene though. Like he heard enough. Basically, he just walked out. Yep, I heard enough. Let's just get on with this.
Yeah.
Oh man, that must hit hard, man.
It can be argued that he gave them a chance, but yeah.
But
I feel bad for him because the dude couldn't even enjoy some damn ice cream. I mean, the guy can't even enjoy his time with his friends and his loved ones because he knows what the hell he's going to do. Like it's so them. Like, and that's just constantly on his mind. Like that was something I picked up on like throughout the whole episode. Like when he was on the boat, he's like looking out and you just see like this like crazy like look in his eyes, and then you see him like have these certain reactions because he knows what is going to happen. It's just like
and that's why Misaka was like saying like, we should have seen this coming.
Yeah, saw it coming a long time.
It was quite clear that Eren had changed.
I think,
or like that he's been like that the whole time.
I think Eren, his conversation with Mikasa at the hill was like kind of meaningful too, because like he just wanted to make sure that what will Mikasa do if she see him like this and that. So that's what he just wanted to confirm with Mikasa. I know a lot of people are just gonna say, "Oh my God, is Mikasa gonna confess?" I say, "No." I feel like
that wasn't.
I feel like Mikasa. I feel like Eren said that so that he can pretty much see which side Mikasa could be on, whether she's going to be supporting him or not. But
I'm really curious about that though, that scene, because it seemed like Eren liked the answer that she gave, or that he was satisfied with the answer she gave. But do you think there's like I think Mikasa feels way more strongly about, like, the family thing is true, but I think she has way stronger feelings about it.
She does.
Well, we'll never know because we'll never know because of that fucking old man fucking cock blocking those two.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. That was like the equivalent. That was the equivalent of the like fucking Legion showing up when fucking the Shin and Lena. Exactly.
Exactly. By the way,
man just
I mean, Zeke confirmed it that Mikasa has a strong feeling for him. So
Memory just hit it on the nail on the head. Yeah, pretty much that was kind of a confession scene between the two. But that's why Misaka said later on, like, maybe I should have said something else.
Yeah, like if she questioned that, like if I would have said something else,
she was struggling.
Could things have turned out differently? Yeah. So it's like, what the heck's gonna happen?
I mean, if she said "I love you, Eren," will you think Eren would be like, "Oh, let's fuck the rumbling"? I don't really think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, it might not be something with that, but it could be with a different event or something. I don't know.
We shall see in the final 10. I've been told that Mikasa gonna be a very questionable character in the final 10 chapters of the season. So
it's not just gonna be Misaka, it's gonna be everyone.
Everyone. Shit. Shit.
Well, to be fair, I like my questionableness in Attack on Titan. I like that moral ambiguity. All right.
The one thing that you may have started to notice that a lot of people are starting to realize that when it comes to Eren, like, have you noticed the sort of shift on Twitter about him? How
what?
There's been a little bit of a shift, but of like what people think of Eren now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because a lot of them, like, there's still some like going, it should have been all about Eren. I don't care about any of the other characters who, they don't seem to understand the message of what Attack on Titan is actually all about. But yeah, that's why I've been trying to hint at you guys, like, yeah,
you know what?
With Eren, don't trust him at all.
Well, that's been a given.
Like, what I'm trying to say here is, like, what people have been doing the past couple of seasons is placing Eren on a pedestal, and you should honestly push him off the pedestal because he is not a good guy.
That's
100%.
Obvious.
Yeah. This is why I've been trying to hint at, like, do you see him as an anti-hero? Do you see him as an anti-villain? I personally see him flat out as a villain. Like, he is more of a villain now than
season 1, 2, and 3.
Man, I have so many issues with Eren as a character, but that's all gonna come to fruition when that next.
This is why I'm on it. This is why I'm
in the next year, y'all gonna see me rant about it.
I'm not surprised.
I'm more excited to see you guys' reaction to the final season, final season, because it's going to blow your mind of what's about to happen.
It's already blown my mind.
I know. Like, the next couple of episodes from the final season, like at least the first, I reckon, 2 or 3 episodes, that's when gears shift and you're going to be like, oh fuck. Yeah. So
by the way, I think the thing that blows people's mind is how Eren was the one that kind of started all this.
Yeah, he's the one that started it all. Like, that's the thing. Like that's the thing with the flashback. Like, that's the whole thing with the flashback. He knew from the beginning. Essentially, he orchestrated the entire series. Essentially, from the season 1 to now, it's all been him.
Yeah, because people, it's funny because there were probably a lot of people that gave Grisha like Grisha's terrible, like he's a shit.
Yeah,
he was a puppet.
He still
was a puppet, man.
He still had some questionable things, but overall, Grisha was not the person we thought he was.
Exactly.
Yeah, Eren was the one that literally, convinced him to do it. He wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And then you could tell, like, afterwards, you could see in his eyes that he immediately regretted his actions.
Mm-hmm.
But Eren literally just stuck a goat next to his ears and just say, "Do it."
What are you doing?
It's such a. Man, it's just. Between like the euthanasia plan with like Zeke and then like what Eren's doing, because Eren, we saw it in the final episode of part 2. Like, it seems like he's just doing this for the ones closest to him, like his family, his friends, and his people, right? But he's willing to take out the rest of the fucking world. It's like,
and it's gone to the point now where his friends are starting to realize that this is not what we wanted.
Yeah.
And, So
and the Avengers.
If they're fighting against what Eren wants this so bad for them to like live their lives out normally and be happy and all that, but like if they are trying to stop him, it's just like, what the fuck, dude?
I have a slight theory to this. I feel like Eren kind of knew the friends will be against it, so I think he would willingly to allow them to kill him in order to make them look like. I don't know. Like, I have a feeling that this has some sort of resemblance to Code Geass. Like,
honestly, like the way Eren has talked. There's been moments like we only know he has like 4 years left. It might be like shorter
less than
than
that.
now.
It's less,
Yeah.
Just remember that there was like a 5-year.
There's some time has passed, so he doesn't have a lot of time left. That's one thing.
I think it's
also the way
only like
he's
2
talked,
years
like,
left. He's got like 2 years left at most.
Yeah, like the way, like some of the phrasing from him, it's like he talks about like after I'm dead or like when I die, like just phrases like that. Even you think of the ED theme, like the visual where he disappears, just shit like that. I mean, I look at it, I'm like, I would not be surprised if he dies at the end of the series, like some Lelouch shit.
Yeah, I think, like I said, go geese.
And I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. I think it's more so about how it's going to lead up to that, or how that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm more curious with that, though.
It's been pointed out on Twitter already, but did you notice the parallels between the last episode of this season and I think it was the ED?
The ending of season 2. Yeah, I saw it.
That
ED of season 2. Oh my god, we got to go.
Yeah,
oh wait, are you talking about are you talking about the Ymir backstory? Like
not just that. No, there was a scene with the Titans. There was a scene with the Titans that come out of the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, also in that same ED, they showed the Ymir stuff too.
Yeah, I know that. We talked about that. So,
so look, if you haven't noticed, go back and look at that ED and then compare it to what's happening in the final episode, and you'll be amazed that this has been
that
on the
early
cards.
on.
This has been on exactly. This has been on the cards for the entire
since 2017.
time.
Since 2017.
The level of planning is insane between Isayama.
But you gotta give Isayama that. You gotta give him that.
Isayama, totally 100%. Yeah.
He foreshadowed it since 2017.
Like you can tell,
wow.
like I don't know how the ending goes, so I don't want to say maybe he planned out the whole ending because I've heard some negative things about the ending. Whatever. But from the beginning of the series, he has planned out probably most of the series, if not all of it. Like he knew what he wanted to do. He knew how he wanted this story to go. So, I mean, that's kind of like some next level shit. You don't really, I mean, you do see that, but you don't see it a lot. And at least like executed to the capacity I feel like Isayama's done.
So yeah, Isayama the genius, but not sure about how you're gonna end the series. I heard people say that he ruined his own work at the ending. So.
Yeah,
we'll have to see what that.
Yeah, just wait and wait for the final season to air, and you make up your own minds once you see it for yourself.
Yeah, I'm curious though. Now I know like desperate times call for desperate measures and shit, but what do you guys think about like all of them teaming up?
Oh, the Avengers.
What's the Servant Corps?
Yeah. What do you think? I
think it's really
good
great
old
to see them.
times.
Yeah, it brings back memories, man. Like that scene where they're all lined up on the tower, and you see all those them like going around swinging in their ODM gear, flying around buildings, like that dynamic camera movement. I'm like, oh my god, this is season 1 all over again. That's honestly one of my favorite parts about Attack on Titan season 4 part 2.
Well, you also have to remember that the Jaegers have all been taken out now, so they're all being killed. So...
Thank you, Mikasa.
Oh yeah, I gotta say though, like I'm pretty sure we all kind of knew that everyone was not really on board with Eren's plan, so we knew something like this was gonna happen anyways. Like the Avengers coming
like it was
together.
A possibility,
yeah. Although Connie's like reasoning is just like, so you want to take give Falco to your mom, and now you feel guilty about it. Like, you know what? I want something to be proud of. Might as well stop Eren. I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah, I feel like how they actually all like I said, desperate times can call for desperate measures, but how it all came together was very convenient.
Yeah,
it was definitely
so
very
convenient.
Yeah,
I was like, cool. So
unfortunately, that is pretty much part of one of the issues people have with it. Is that sometimes his writing is a bit too convenient. Like it's like saying because the plot said so, without actually giving us a proper reason. And I hate to say it, but that's actually kind of the start of why this thing falls apart, because his writing near the end really crumbles to like pieces, unfortunately. So you're going to see a lot more. You're going to see it break apart more and more as we get into the final season.
Okay, so let's just put the story out aside now. What do you guys think of Mappa doing the work for the 2 parts?
They've been excellent so far. Actually.
Yeah, I really like it.
They've done a really good job, all things considered. Especially if you compare. In fact, they did it themselves. Like they even redid some of the scenes from like the first season, and if you compare them, there's really not much of a difference between them.
Yeah, which apparently they're more true to the actual manga style.
Yeah, that is actually very true.
I still personally prefer. I guess it just depends, because with certain characters and certain designs, I like with Mappa more, but like with Wit, I enjoy more. So it's just like, but I'll always prefer Wit's action pieces like compared to Mappa's for me.
I mean, the scene with Mikasa though.
Like there's been like, don't get me wrong. I think in this part, in part 2, like there was 2 episodes where they gave us like, I would say the best action in the final season, like 100%. Like they really went off. Like I was actually really surprised. I was like, okay, like I think Kawhi brought it up, like the ODM gear scenes and when all of them were fighting at the port. Like I was like, okay, I haven't saw some ODM scenes like this since like when Wit was doing it. Yeah. So I was like, damn, I was actually really surprised by that. But also like the designs of the Titans, I think for the most part I like more in most cases. But I would just say like there's certain things that Mappa I think nails better, and there's certain things that Wit nails better. It just kind of just depends on what you like. Prefer in terms of like the animation style.
This is me personally. I don't like comparing studios all that much because
I don't really like either.
It's like
I think they've both done a good job.
It's like yin and yang. Like you can't it's unfair to compare studios in my view. Like they're different. It's a different team. It's different animation style. You can't really,
I think they've just both done a good job, honestly.
Yeah. I think I really like, I really like Mappa's, how Mappa's doing it. Although I will say, like, I did notice the animation quality has kind of dropped in the later episodes, as Mad Lad of Culture did say, like that scene with Mikasa and like in the ports, like her slaughtering the Jaegerists. That was really good, but I did notice like there were like, and the animation was it could have been better. But other than that, I think Mappa's doing a pretty good job.
Like that one scene with like Flock and like Hanj, when Flock was like doing his last ditch effort type thing, like the way they did that was crazy. I really like that.
Apparently it was Mushoku Tensei animator that did that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was actually cool.
That was cool though, I say.
Yeah,
but still, Flouch as a character, oh my god.
I didn't understand why.
They didn't confirm that he's dead, and I'm
he's not dead.
He's not dead.
He's not. I was like, if this fucker, oh my god,
he's not dead.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's not dead.
I don't want to say too much, but you didn't.
It's literally a part of his character.
You didn't actually see his body, did you?
No, you didn't.
He just fell to war. He just fell to war. That's
and
it.
It's Flock. Which after the final episode, like you could tell how much Eren actually puts like trust into this. He was Flock was the only one that knew his plan, his actual plan. Like that's kind of crazy. Like,
why do you think he's so invested? Why do you think he's so invested?
It tells you how much Eren thinks of Flock. And it's
also
kind of
I just
kind
want
of a part of his
hint at
character.
something. I also want to hint at something as well in terms of another character where Yelena hasn't actually done that much, has she yet?
Nope, she has done practically nothing.
She was just like there.
What? She is pretty much though. She is just biding her time. Let's just say that.
Oh,
what is she? What does she try to?
She's scheming. Honestly, I'm not
tries to like fucking. She tries to like do Zeke's plan on her own or some shit. Like
maybe.
Maybe. We're just
what she just does.
I mean, seriously,
that's what she was on. She was all about Zeke's plan and shit. So.
Okay, so wait, are we done with the like? We're still gonna talk a little bit about Attack on Titan, right? Like, I was about to add one more thing just before. I just noticed a really, really just weird trend with this, and I don't know if it's comparable, but if anyone's watched Manga Records anime, let's get this straight. Okay. If I remember correctly, Manga Records had the first season had, if I'm like 13, 12, 13, I guess. Then the second season had 8, and then the last season had 4. Attack on Titan final season had 16, then 12, and likely 8 or 9.
Yeah,
10. I say 10. I say
And
10.
both of them have some really, really fucked up production priorities. I'm just gonna let you know that. Coincidence?
I don't think so.
Maybe. There's some shit going on there. I have my bones to pick with Magia Records personally, even though I did enjoy it at one point, and it's just like, yeah, that's not. Yeah, it just really looks sloppy as hell. I mean, they tried. I mean, I don't think it's really Shaft's fault at that time because most of the big staff from back, most of their talent from back then, like from the earlier 2010s, like they moved on somewhere else because time flies by, like things change, and like they're really just trying to put in effort despite Aniplex's really bad priorities. And then there's also with now with Mappa dealing with fucking Pony Cannon and Kodasha with their really weird priorities, like not really good foresight in terms of scheduling shit. So it's just literally final season, part 1, 2, final part. There's some really weird things going on with how the anime industry is trying to prioritize things. Like they want to get it out as quick as possible for reasons I can understand, but at the same time I'm like, what's like? So you'd rather just have something that's really shit out the bag, or like you're just trusting that people can wait. It really bugs me when I have to think whenever I think about it, and the fact that it's happening to Mappa, Mappa with Attack on Titan, and people are still taking in whatever they can. I mean, I'm just gonna let you guys. I'm just gonna be honest right now. I don't like Mappa's composition in the part 2. It looks okay. So I'm just gonna say part 1 actually looked like it was more consistent with the stuff and all. I still don't like the grayish blurry stuff, like the what do you call it? Where it just kind of make everything look like it's foggy or into an extent, or maybe like
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like
in the background.
But with part 2, and then with part 2, there's like it's not even as polished. Like a lot of this, even the very animated stuff, like even the second to last episode where stuff looked like it was looking really good, it still looked wonky in areas. Like it doesn't feel like the OEM gear plays. It feels very. And I know I'm nitpicking, but it feels very sad. It doesn't feel like that same impactfulness that you saw what fucking Wit did. And it's just like, it's not like, oh, it's just nothing. It's still like, but it just doesn't have it. It's just there, at least for me.
Yeah,
and so
sometimes
Mappa has had to really just Mappa has just had to really punch and scrap, grab things together, and you just want to. And so I'm not so sure when people say, "Oh, it's a passion project." There is 1 or 2 great looking episodes, in my opinion, like the one where Eren turns into his final form attack. Like that scene looked really good, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That so it's not like they're not putting effort in it, but it's just like it doesn't feel like the same. Like I know there's a different team with Jujutsu Kaisen, and then like that team, at least they seem to be given more of a more favorable schedule, a more favorable frame of time. I mean, I know the composition for Jujutsu Kaisen isn't always the best in areas, but at least it's more consistent, in my opinion, as opposed to what many people try to claim because they just say whatever. But it looks like Jujutsu Kaisen's, there's a lot more, actual passion put into that, and then you have some really good staff members for that, and I'm pretty sure which hopefully will return for season 2. Whereas with Mappa, because of how it was just kind of landed, the Attack on Titan project was just landed onto them. They had to get people from other
like
places.
Super like crunch time.
Yeah, it was literally super crunch time in their place.
That is probably actually my, like, if I had like I mean, there's been cases where I'm just like, where like you said, like it feels like kind of stiff or just, I mean, doesn't hit maybe as you'd expect it to, but like that's probably my biggest thing is the composition. I don't know, it's just like it feels like they're using some kind of like color correction, like like magic bullet looks or something. Like it just looks over, like they need some saturation or something. I don't know. It's with certain colors sometimes, like with especially like the backgrounds I've noticed. Even if you just like compare from
like they should do the saturations, but when they do the little lines around the eyes, it just looks like very weird when they have that. It just looks like they literally look like the Mappa animators. They literally look like they haven't been sleeping fucking days. If you put some saturation on it, be good. But they didn't do that. Like,
I mean, to be fair, war will do that to you. I mean, they're in an all-out war right now. I mean,
but at least saturate.
I think they're doing the best. They're doing with the situation.
They're trying. They're pulling as much as they can.
With the situation around AOT, they were the only studio that, like, I guess had the resources necessary. Willing to take it. Like, they're doing the best that they possibly can given the circumstances.
Yeah, you have to.
It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot better.
Yeah, you have to remember, because you have to remember that Wit Studios gave it up. They didn't want to do it anymore. So.
This is a similar thing. This is a somewhat different thing with 86 where they had to delay it because a lot of their stuff is done. In A1's case, a lot of their shit is still done mostly in-house. Like, yeah, there's some outsourced stuff, but a lot of their stuff is in-house. So when they have some holdups, they can't just have, like, they don't have like where Mappa's case where they're just pulling everyone from wherever. They would still have it in-house. They decided it this way. And so that's why they had to delay it. And that's why they did have their shortcuts as well. But I mean, it still looked good in the end. And it's a little bit comparable to the extent to what Attack on Titan's case is. Except with Attack on Titan, it just felt like they're just grabbing this. Remember, it's just been pushed onto them when it was just like, nope, we don't want to work on that. We're going to work on Osama Records and other stuff. So they're just doing a lot of like, well, Osama Rank is not an original, but they're doing a lot of like just one-off things like manga adaptations or originals, mostly originals. Actually, Osama Rankings is a manga adaptation.
But that's what I'm saying. Besides Osama Ranking, like they're mostly doing originals. Which, I mean, good for them. They're a very creative studio, obviously. So
Vivi was a really nice show to watch.
I really like.
I wish I liked it more than
Great Pretender.
I wish I liked it more than I did at the end, but it was a fun time. Like I want with succeed on their own with that.
So anything else about Attack on Titan before the weird year for
overall Attack on Titan in my top 5 video, I ranked as number 2. Both, I said it before, I'll say it again. Both Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan really made my Sundays for the past several weeks. I really enjoy both of those shows. And with Attack on Titan, I love seeing the action. I love seeing the more characters. I love the story and the storytelling, the lore, and all of that. The many twists and turns throughout the season 4 part 2, and I think really. And I don't really have any like flaws or dislikes about season 4 part 2 other than the degrade in animation quality. I will say one thing I do want to point out. It's that like I've seen like even during season 4 part 2, I've seen so many manga readers like complaining about the ending and all that. And to them, it's just so many complaints like even throughout like season 4 part 2 was airing. And I'm like, to them I say, I don't care. Like, you guys already pounded into my head so many times how shitty the fucking ending is. I get it by now. You don't need to keep complaining about it. Like, just let us anime onlys enjoy what's happening right now. And once we get to the
let's find out for themselves.
Yes, and once we get to the ending, we'll form our own opinion on the ending. You don't need to keep pounding it into our heads
like, cool
every single time.
Bro. Oh, by the way, the ending shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, right?
It gets in like that, and like them like blatantly spoiling stuff from the source material is like it's why I feel like the AOT manga readers can get pretty annoying sometimes. No offense, Oliver, you're one of the good ones.
No, I try not to say that much. That's why.
Yeah, I know. We appreciate you for that. Also, what else did I want to add? I think that's
the memes.
Yeah,
Every Sunday you tweet every memes, man. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
dude, that thing with Aaron talking to Grisha, that was like a global phenomenon. Yeah, using that shit.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys. I use TikTok to just see on anime TikTok. Oh my god, the amount of people use that.
That'll be used forever.
That'll be used forever, man.
Yeah, like even the Will Smith and like Chris Rock shit, like that's gonna be used like all the time, forever now.
Oh god.
Even if you don't like Attack on Titan, you could the memes are fun.
You gotta appreciate
the memes are fun, man.
I reckon these memes will die out once Attack on Titan actually finishes. Honestly,
maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
I think it'll continue like for a few weeks after the series officially ends. And they all just die off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think that one specifically, the one with Aaron,
that one probably will be.
That one is just a different. Like,
that and Yelena's face are like they're like the two biggest memes.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed
that one with Connie, where
and Connie as well.
The selfie,
the brushing teeth thing.
Jesus,
I remember that. That was so great.
Okay.
So the next one you're going to talk about.
Just one more shot. One more thing. Salute to whoever, probably a random guy just watering the plants by the wall while right before the rumbling started.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about the paths?
No. Like right before the wall. Right beside the wall, right before it started, just.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, my Dress Up Darling.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm actually considering watching this one.
You should.
There's actually quite a bit of controversy surrounding this.
You should.
In fact, some people have said that they want me
to. Guys,
quick toilet break.
Now. I have a quick toilet break, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some food real quick, so I'm be right
I feel like people. This is my call. This is basically my. This is kind of like my anime of the season. For winter. Like I don't think there's really anything else. Well, I guess Tanagi-san 3 kind of is just up there, but in terms of just pure just from a new season. I'm not talking kind of sequels. This is probably my anime of the season.
Something brand new.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I can understand. Here's the thing. I can understand when people do not like certain parts. My problem with my other problem with the show is when people start twisting the narrative and saying, it's something else. I've already stated it before earlier in this podcast, and it happens again. And they say, Gojo's a self-insert, he's an incel and whatnot. I don't know how. I don't think these sort of people know the type of culture Japan is going through, especially with especially with guys of Gojo's age, and then also I don't know why people say like, he's a self-insert otaku thing. They call him an otaku. That young man literally does not know anime. It's just weird how they twist things. And then they say Mari's like, he's just like she's just like, she's just like a one. She's just like very manipulative stuff. Like they make up all these narratives.
I'm just convinced that people aren't like.
Are they
not watching it?
One of the one dude with the fucking 4 out of 10 review on Mao was twisting everything when I was trying to talk to him. Like, you're getting this shit wrong. He was trying to say otherwise. There was this one. and it's just like nothing against him, but I feel like I don't have anything against him if he doesn't like it. What I don't like is when people like him are just like twisting that narrative, regardless, like saying over and over, it's been shown again and again, or that he's not a cardboard cutout. He's not Blad. The only thing, okay, when I say Blad, it's just like he is Blad, but it's because like, but only to a characteristic where like because he's socially withdrawn, so he doesn't have anything much else going from others aside from his dolls. And yeah, somehow it's this is so funny. It's like they say he's there, like he actually has a job, which is impressive by itself. He's actually a really nice guy. He's actually considerate of understanding of others. Yeah, he's not really good socially. He's not really good talking with girls, with anyone outside of his gramps and his cousin. But he is trying his best. He wants to do the best. He wants to do his best, and like he's not good in his profession, but as long as he makes people smile, he makes people happy, it's okay. The effort's there. It's just self-confidence thing for Gojo, and I felt like it's doing it well. Just don't be afraid to be expressive of what you want to do. That's where he was also able to help what was it? What was her name? Shinju. Like that's how he was able to help her. Even though she was tall, and then like he was also able to help Sajuna. Now it's kind of fucked up how Sajuna just kind of blackmailed him.
Yeah.
But it's also understandable because they tell us later, oh, she's not good with guys, so which is kind of comparable to Gojo's case, but it's more like because she went to because she was in a situation where she went to an all girls school, so she didn't have a very good experience with interacting with other guys, which would be understandable if all you're seeing is just people of the same gender around you and you don't see anyone else and you're not familiar. Like when you do talk to someone with the opposite gender, you're just not so sure what to think because how guys and girls operate they're completely different. And here's I could talk more about but there's so much to open up with, and Maureen isn't just a typical gal. I actually even usually hate the archetype she's in because of how stereotypical it is and how it's just usually surface level. With Maureen, yeah, it's kind of like a wish fulfillment thing that she's kind of like good looking and all, but she's not, Blad. I feel like she's very understanding. She knows when she wants to help Gojo. She wants to kind of help him out of his awkwardness, and she even admires him because he has his good traits. Like he makes for a very good. I can honestly see where he makes for a good boyfriend or even a husband. Like that's why she likes him a lot. She doesn't even care about he's awkward now. But the fact that he's just so honest, yeah, that's what I like about and the fact that it's and like you see other typical gals, it's like they don't have it. Other similar gals in shows I've seen, like they don't have those. They barely even have those sort of traits. They just
stick to the archetype of the character.
Yeah, it's just
like Marin has like maybe those qualities, but you see like these other parts of her where it's like, oh, she's just a normal girl, your normal average high school girl.
Yeah.
I
don't want to even get started on Sajuna. People saying, "Oh, it was a lot." Funny story. I've encountered people like her when I used to go to college dorms. There was like this one.
What?
There was this one. Okay, So I used to dorms. This was when I tried to go to Versailles. It didn't work out because I just I just wasn't. I just wasn't really up for the courses there, and a lot of shit happened. But I remember meeting this one. I was going through drugs. I was just I would just go mind my own business, and I see someone. I think it was a girl. Like she wasn't that tall. She was like I don't know 5'0", and I was just like, you're visiting your family, you're visiting something or someone? Like is she within the dorms? And just like I'm actually one of the dorms here. What? I'm just like, there's no way. She didn't even look like she's 18. She looked like she was 14. Like that's how crazy this was. Like,
what's with this
Jimmy
sassy
didn't
lost
kick in that
child?
well. God damn it. And I'm just like, yeah, it's the thing is, Sanjana's characterization, like her sort of character, her physical, like how she looks isn't that unusual. It's just like, I feel like people that say, oh, that she's alive, like what? She's just there just for lollygags, and just like, no, y'all gotta please go out and see more people. Like I know I'm not one to talk because I'm not really as outdoorsy, but I know people like that. People like that, or at least similarly, exist in real life. And even
That's
like
like
Shinju's,
that's like the freaking
they
thing
exist
with
in real
like
life.
we talked about it earlier, like the Uzaki-chan thing. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
when we talked
Yeah.
about that, like there's short stacked girls, like there's short girls with big boobs, like
I've
just-
seen
it's just-
I've seen
Yeah.
people similar to be
And then there's
honest.
just tall, and then there's also ones where
and there's
there's
really tall
people with big
girls.
boobs.
There's tall guys. there's
Don't even
short
get me
guys,
started
there's-
where we were in high school, where I actually came into one. Now they didn't have big boobs, but they were fucking like basketball player tall.
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
just like,
yeah,
they were
they
like,
are.
wait, whoa! I just looked up.
That's the
and I'm
thing.
like,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's-
you're anything you could think of, like in terms of how a person looks or like how tall they are, how like there's someone out there who is like that, who looks like.
And even in the end, it's still fiction.
Yeah,
But you just like
I do
at the
wonder.
same time, it's like, come on, why were we fussing over this?
I mean, people
Now,
just want. People
now,
just
if there's
want to
now
like.
if there is
oh,
extreme now if there's an extreme gag like in the next that 40-year-old teacher that somehow looks like she's freaking 9. Yeah, okay, I get it. The mom in Masamune-kun who say she's 40
No.
but she looks like fucking
No.
6.
no.
Yeah, then we
the-
have a problem.
The
Then we have a
teacher, the
problem.
teacher
Then
from
we,
the
then
teacher
we
from
have a problem. That's
the teacher from Index, Kamoi
Oh
sensei.
god.
Yeah.
Oh
Then
shit.
we have a problem. Then I can get where it is.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
because that's not fucking normal. That's
Can I
not
add
believable.
something? Can I just add
That's not
something?
even believable by a
At that
fictional
point, it's
extent.
just fucking hilarious to me.
It is
because
hilarious.
it's
And
I
at this point, though, when you get used to it, you're just like, what the fuck, man? You're just
I
like,
mean, to
whatever.
be honest, though, I think the reason why we see this sort of trend in character, design is just fans just likes
they-
it. Fans just likes
they're
it.
just used for to appeal to the fan. They're usually gag characters, in honesty.
To be
do-
honest, though, there are people like Juju and people like what's the sister called again?
Shinju.
Shinju. There are people like that in this society. I've seen people like this.
Exactly.
I have a
Exactly.
student in my old high school that looks the same like Juju, but it's just like how people just say, "Oh my god, you're sexualizing 40 years old." Like, no, I've seen
Yeah,
worse.
exactly. I do wonder if
Yeah.
like the people complaining about the sexualization of young like anime characters, I do wonder if they've seen an actual Asian person in real life, because a lot of us look way younger than what we're supposed to be. Like I'm 25, yet I still get mistaken for a teenager. Like people are shocked.
And I'm
when-
31.
Yeah,
turning 32,
exactly.
And I still look like in my 20s.
I look like
crazy.
people think I'm still at my 21 or 22,
Wait, how old are you,
Yeah.
Mad Lad?
26 this year.
So yeah, I mean, also it's also why I find it funny when there's a lot of anime characters who are supposedly in their 20s, but they look like way older. So I also find that funny as well.
I remember Jotaro. He's supposedly
He's supposed to be 17, isn't he?
17, and he's
What the
30. He
hell?
looks like he's 30.
Exactly.
He looks like he's 30.
Oh god.
So yeah.
So it's normal.
Like, your
These
argument, like if you complain about this you don't complain about Jotaro's case. Your argument is invalid, man.
Exactly.
I don't care about because he's
Double
cool.
standards.
Your thing is invalid.
Yeah.
I really like what they did with Juju and Shinju though, like the whole like how like Shinju was like so worried about, but like her sister also had like these insecurities as well about like how she couldn't pull off a cosplay like how her sister could.
I don't want to like there will be some new characters up, and like there people. I think every single character so far that isn't like I know it's a small cast so far, but every single character has had some sort of I guess insecurity with things. Like even Marin to an extent, well more so when she realizes that she really likes Gojo, but at the same time like she's not so sure if she wants to really push the to be pushy with it, because
I don't know though.
She's really she's really, because like if she was really wanting to be that pushy, she could have done it already, but she hasn't. She hasn't tried to.
They could have.
I don't think she's picked up. I don't think she's. Yeah, the Love Hotel, that was something, but I don't know if she's like necessarily, because we've saw it all from Marin's perspective. Like she's head over heels for him, right? Like we saw these reactions from Gojo where you can tell like, okay, of course he's into her, but we haven't actually like went into like Gojo hasn't like talked about, like there hasn't been like a monologue, or there hasn't been like him talking about how he actually feels about her, like if it is like in a romantic sense. Like we've just necessarily saw his like reactions to like what she does,
which can be a problem. Like, can we get to his part now? Which I can honestly get, but I don't think it's too bad because he's still thinking about like trying to open up and on. Marin's of course trying to help him out. Mm-hmm. It's gonna take time. Like he doesn't have time to think about a relationship. Yeah, he that would be just skipping too many steps, and then so he has to go through the first few floors first before getting up there to the upper floors. And so far it depends on how patient you can be. I just hope it doesn't drag on too long.
I think he's gonna get dragged on. I feel like he's gonna get dragged on based on how he reacts to Marin just on the last episode. But still, though,
I don't know.
I mean, there's only 74 chapters.
If we're already at this point,
you read the manga, right? I'm just curious. Is there a love rival?
No.
No. Okay. No love rival.
Thankfully, no.
Thank God.
Thankfully, no, huh?
But we're already at the point where Marin is saying like, I know it's a part of like Marin's character, but I mean, she's literally said she loves him. Like we've already like established that, right? So now it's just really like we know how Gojo feels about her. It's him literally just saying that, facing that to himself, realizing that, really like, and opening up to her or opening up
hopefully
again.
Hopefully it doesn't get too. Hopefully it doesn't get too generic where he just like, oh yeah, maybe this is something and this is that. I was like, dude, admit it. You see Marin more than just a friend or something like that. If it gets too dragged out, I'm just gonna like whatever, man.
Yeah, it's really right now in the latest chapters, it's gonna be really dependent on how Gojo is gonna try to start realizing like Marin is like I've been around her for a long time. It would be unusual for me to not consider being in a relationship with her, but at the same, of course he still has to think about can he open up? Like I think to the point where when he starts to be more comfortable talking with more people, and then to the point where he's okay to have a relationship, then we can get started on things. But for now,
right now,
I like where the anime does conclude for now. Like Gojo hasn't really stated outright that he has. Stay outright to her that he has feeling like, or even to us, but he is interested in her. I mean, he has been really kind of hanging around her. Marin's kind of hanging around him. Like it's only a matter of time. I just don't. But I'm like with you guys. I don't want to too dragged out. I don't want it to be like fucking Rag. I don't want to talk about that shit. That's that thing.
So anything else you want to talk about Darling? Because I pretty much watched this just to enjoy the good old wholesomeness. So
yeah, it's wholesome though. Fan service is a plus,
and that
I'm
too,
not, and
and that too,
yeah,
Yeah.
and that
anyone
too.
gonna complain? Like I don't complain about fan service. Like when there's a problem with fan service, it's not usually when I have one. It's not usually the fan service itself. It's how it's used.
Well, I'm actually.
I feel
Hello.
like the fan service
Yeah.
here is makes more sense because of what is makes more sense if how it's implemented with the cosplay, because you gotta dress up and stuff. You gotta try to look like the one with where Mario just went all the way to look like Sugar Town, to where she put like fake boobs. I'm just like, she literally stood out there for like God knows how long, and maybe some fucking heat. And then like, oh, I'm like, oh gosh, she really went all the way out of there. Yeah, it's fan service, but just like, she really went all the way with that. Like, good on you. Good on you. You really committed. She really wanted that. And even, like, Gojo was impressed.
And also the one thing that impresses me with Marin character this season is not just, she's just a very enjoyable character to watch. It's just that the voice actor nailed her characteristics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a fun fact. It's a fun fact about the voice actor. She's a newbie.
Yeah, I
heard about. She really knows how to nail the sort of sway, the swag.
She has like these little like goofy like antics that are like she just did a really good job.
I feel like
they animated.
I feel like she even does that sort of. She made it like it came naturally as well, which is pretty, at least to me, which is pretty impressive by itself. So it's like, I feel like to me, it's like she's been doing this forever. Like,
because she also voiced a similar character in Bang Dreams. I actually follow Bang Dreams a bit, so yeah, she's just one of the characters in Bang Dreams has a similar.
Season?
It's in the game. It's in the game. She's part of the new. She's part of the new band.
Because I've only watched the first season of Bang Dream, and I was like, I did not hear her voice. So
no, she is in the new band that is like in Morphonica. So yeah, she's okay. I checked out her character in Bang Dream. She's similar to Marin, actually, quite similar to Marin character. So she has experience there. Gojo, I gotta say, Gojo voice actor, literally outside his work as a voice actor, he actually designed cosplay.
Oh, that's sweet.
I put a link in I put it in channel. Like, there's a voice actor show part where he go and design a cosplay for a character of the anime Japan during the stage show. The character that dressed up like the cosplay as Marin when the anime came to stage. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, another trip. I know it's a trivia and it may not be important, but he actually voiced Yusaku from Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns. So when I heard. And like, I did not notice it at first until he went on some of his serious serious moments, like when he's just like, "What the?
What anime? What anime is that?"
Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh!
He was voicing he was voicing Yusaku, and I'm just like, the funny thing is, I'm just like, I wonder what would happen if Yusaku actually had a more chill voice and a more like sheepy or more like
a little nicer voice.
And Gojo basically fulfilled that.
So yeah, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Still good nowadays?
No.
Okay,
it's not.
Short answer.
It ended. The decency with Yu-Gi-Oh! Ended with V-Reigns and Arc 5. After, and I didn't even like V-Reigns either. It was because it just cut the. Apparently, it cut. They cut the story short for some very technical reasons, and maybe even production reasons too, or maybe they just didn't agree on it. And
that's trivial thing. But also the one thing I like about Gojo as a name is just that the amount of memes coming out of Gojo, because Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, there are some good TikTok people that make Gojo into the actual Gojo.
Those are good.
Those are some good memes, man. I mean, of course, not the same voice actor, but yeah, that was a really good meme.
Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen is obviously the superior Gojo. Changed my mind.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my dress up darling though, I need to pick up my takeaway. I have nothing really more to say other than Marin. I gotta say, she's one of one of the best girl for this year.
Those two are just added to my favorite, my growing.
I think she's like
characters.
just in recent memory.
I
I
just
would
don't
say
care.
she's one of like the better female characters we've
She
had.
literally took
just
Twitter by
I
storm.
don't care, man.
She took
Guys,
the
I'm
entire
pretty
anime community
sure-
by storm.
I'm pretty sure you guys have a new opinion on this upcoming girl Shikimori for next season, and there's a lot of people starting to say,
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not buying it.
I don't think she's gonna resell a little popularity, but we'll see.
I'm not buying it.
No, okay, I read the manga, and I have my issues with it. I initially didn't like the Sonobisuke manga either, but the anime elevated it, and I'm just like, oh, that's what the author wanted to portray, and so I had a better opinion about it. I am not as optimistic about Shikimori, but maybe I'll be surprised. But
guys,
I'm not
I
so
need
sure
to,
how to
I need
feel
to
about
pick up my takeaway, so don't start on Arifureta yet. So give me a sec.
But I don't know how to feel about Shikimori as a character because of a lot of reasons that you'll find out when the anime does kick off.
Oh boy!
I mean, it's cool. It looks cool and all. She looks cool and all, of course, because how she is supposed to be the Chad girlfriend. because of like based on the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
But that won't be my. But like it really isn't so much. There's a lot of Does she have other traits besides that? And like maybe they'll be, matter enough. Maybe they won't. But I don't think she's gonna take it by storm. I mean,
yeah, I just think it's gonna be
even if
hard
she
to
looks
touch Marin. I mean, just from her character, just in general, but also how she impacts the main character. I just don't. I don't see it. But I mean, who knows?
The Shikimori, like I forget Shikimori-san had a male lead. That's how bad it is. That's how bad the situation is with me and the manga. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, just the chemistry between like Marin and Gojo, especially just in terms of like rom-coms or whatever you'd want to say, just like in recent memory, it's just some of the best.
But with Shikimori, funny thing, when I saw the first trailer for Shikimori, I was like, wait, who's that guy? Oh, wait, where is she? Oh, that's the main. Oh, wait, that's the main male lead? I thought that was a girl. Wait a sec. That's how confused I was. And then I just remembered manga. I was like, oh, okay. He's the guy. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it was for me. I'm sorry.
Jeez.
It was that bad. So yeah, the character dynamics in there, you're either gonna love them because they're for some reason, or you won't, or you'll just dislike them for another reason. I mean, I will just say it's kind of one-sided in my opinion. But you'll find out. But yeah, no one's overtaking Mario at this point. She literally took the internet by storm, and I don't think anything's gonna really replace it anytime soon. Maybe Machina from Chainsaw Man, but that's another thing. That's not a rom-com.
I feel like the last. I mean, who was like the last character I can really think of that really took the internet by storm, like on this level, was like maybe like 02 or some shit.
Oh yeah, 02 was really big.
Before.
Yeah,
even when the anime
I'm trying to think like
into
in between that, because it's like
I think
was like
Nagatoro, Uzaki to an extent.
I'm trying to think. Like I don't think there's really anybody.
The main dragon. Well, no, the main. The
I
one
guess
with the main
maybe
dragon.
Maybe Kana to an extent as well.
Oh yeah, Kana.
Yeah, I could.
Well, yeah, Kana. I can understand. I can do that too, but it's not like. But she was more of memes, not by storm. So I don't know. I feel
like Marin's on that like 02 like ish like level in terms of just like popularity, but like also how like the internet like I don't know, just kind of was crazy how it happened, how everyone started talking about it.
Dude, it was so hilarious how anti-trans polls were starting, where Attack on Titan only got one fucking win, and it was because it was an Annie return episode. Because lots of people love Annie, of course, because fucking God knows how long, and then she returns. But after that, like, Sonobisuke was taking the charts in anti-trans, and which was fun because a lot of Attack on Titan people were just
They were salty.
Of course they were. Yeah, of course.
I was just like, it's a fucking poll. Now,
Yeah.
I think it is deserved. Now there are times when you feel like this is rigged, and we know what happened with the Miracle-chan thing with Mushoku Tensei.
What are you talking about? That's deserved.
Nah, I don't think it was weird because that episode, because the final episodes for those, Miracle-chan doesn't have particularly amazing episodes, which is what I have a problem with. If it had amazing episodes to where like how sort of Bisque had to an extent, then I can see where it is. But I try to look at it from a different perspective, and I didn't feel like Miracle-chan really earned anything. So I felt like that was really. I mean, when something feels off, you'll know. But I feel like with that, and then how people may be falling off with Attack on Titan because of how it's like, oh, part 1, part 2, then you realize why Dress Up Darling is just mostly taking over the charts. So it's not like, oh, it's rigged or anything.
I feel like after those,
it's still a popularity vote. But
I mean, I feel like for me, like I think Attack on Titan was still good, but I think those 3 episodes where you had like Eren and Grisha, like the memory stuff, and then the Ymir backstory, like after that 3 episode stretch, like they just set the bar so high for that part. It was like the episodes after that, like they were good, but they were just they weren't blowing me away necessarily, right? They were just kind of like solid episodes of Attack on Titan. I mean, they did leave off the part like really strong though, I will say, with AOT, but I mean, I feel like there was like I noticed it. I mean, you could even look at like YouTube like traffic or whatever, like even from like my videos or whatever, like compared to what they usually would get for AOT, it was like people were like not as interested in some of those in between episodes, like the episodes before like the final 2, I would say, of the part. Which with what was going on, I could see why, because even I had some like kind of there was some questionable stuff going on, like with them all gathering together, and just some of like the characters' decisions and what they were doing, the thought processes. And it's like, but we're off of AOT, but it's just it does go into like the Dress Up Darling thing and like with the polls and all that. I think it deserves it, honestly, man, because obviously you can tell there's a lot of love and passion put into the series. It has 2 really solid main characters. Their chemistry is awesome, and I mean how it goes into the cosplay stuff, I feel like I really like that part of it too.
They need to do. They also made. I'm just gonna say, the Magical Girl show. They're gonna just went with a generic looking one. Yeah. They made one look like a show, 2 shows that I'm familiar with, Ojamajo and someone Precure. I think this one Precure show that I didn't watch, but I saw the designs. I was like, oh yeah, that's some inspiration there.
What are we up to?
That was some inspiration. I'm just like, there's some inspiration there, and like even they even took some shit from Madoka Magica with their
you're talking about the anime in okay.
The anime.
Yeah, they did not have to go that like much.
They didn't need to do that, and they did.
I mean, even like that whole like with them putting out like, remember what like Gojo was watching at the beginning of the series, like with the Shizuku stuff, like the uncensored thing that his grandpa walked in and saw him like.
Like
they're making an episode of that.
I tagged you guys in a picture, right? You guys saw the picture. I tagged you.
Yeah. This like the image from it.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Which that just shows you. I mean, obviously that's gonna sell a lot. Probably, I would not be surprised. But I mean, they don't have to do that stuff, but they are. It's just really cool. So
So
I would agree with for new anime. If we're not talking about sequels, like this is definitely the standout. I mean, I would say AOT and Demon Slayer just really carried the
winter season.
Carried the winter season. Yeah, those 3, honestly.
In terms of hype.
In terms of hype, yeah.
And also, are we like done with Darling already? Or?
Yeah, can we move on to Arifureta?
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I actually have to go. That's probably
okay. Memory. Before you leave, let me just say something. Fruits Basket movie is now available.
Oh, nice. On Crunchyroll or something?
No, raw version. But I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I saw that. The Blu-ray version for it dropped.
I'm pretty sure the sub will be out very soon, so I can't wait to
Also,
have my
excited for
eyes.
that.
Memory, I got a question for
crying
you
again.
too.
Uh-huh.
Also, Mary, so when I did the intro for my podcast, did that sound familiar to you? For this podcast?
Wait, you did the yo thing? Yeah. People always give me shit for that.
I mean, it's a good intro. It's iconic, so that's why I did.
I've been doing it for years, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
iconic.
so memory.
I will add one more thing before I leave.
Yeah.
Takagi-san season 3, I love that shit. It was the best season.
That was great.
Agreed.
Was fucking great.
Yeah. I'm happy there was some freaking development finally.
Well, I'll just
juicy,
quickly say before memory leaves. I think Ryu also said this, that the anime of Tataki-san, I think, is going in a different direction to what's happening in the manga. Because
the manga the manga's perpetual comment.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the movie, especially with how this.
I honestly think, considering the fact of how this season wrapped up, I think the movie is going to wrap everything up. Like, I think that's going to be the end of it.
Ooh.
Because you know the whole confession, confession scene. I don't remember even seeing that in the manga.
That hasn't happened. Because it hasn't happened in the manga yet. They haven't. He hasn't confessed in the manga.
Shit.
So pretty much, I think they're going to go anime original and just end it with the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be lit.
Oh, well, you guys enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to head off soon myself. Actually, I have to get ready for work soon. So I quickly do want to talk about Arifureta though.
Me, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish with Arifureta too. So.
Oh damn! There's gonna be just me and Kawaii.
So yeah, after Arifureta, I'm done. So Arifureta season 2, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get season 3, but no announcement yet. But
I'm going to have to say it. Season 2 was better than season 1.
Exactly.
100%. It actually shocked me of how much it was better. Originally, I don't know if I told you guys this, but originally I wasn't going to react to it. But then I realized I don't have that much to react to this season. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just react to it. I could get a laugh out of it. That was my thinking of it. Like, it's going to be so bad, I'm just going to laugh at it. But then it just blew me away. I was like, hang on, there's barely any bad CGI. The only bad CGI was them reusing footage from season 1. And then, later on there was a few bad CGIs. But I actually didn't care. Like, the story actually got better.
I know, right? I know. I especially Hajime. Like this season, the one thing I noticed about Hajime this season, he actually struggled against opponents.
He actually for a guy that's meant to be like completely OP, he actually struggled.
I mean, he did struggle in season 1 a bit,
but not to this extent. Like, he literally struggled against that angel chick. Yoint.
Noint.
For a little bit, I will say. Like, I want to stress that. Only for a little bit he struggled against her. But then, obviously, like, totally wiped her out in the end. But still, I have to also say, this season was a lot darker than season 1. Like,
wow, if you're referring to the last 3 episodes, yeah, sure, why not?
I could see that. Yeah.
Well, it's not just the last 3 episodes. Like, that... Jesus God, that flashback to them, like, to the possessed king wiping out the, like, all those people he invited to that ship. That was, oh God. Just, like...
That was brutal, yeah.
That was brutal. And I was, like, in my seat, like, reacting to this going, oh my fucking God. Like, seriously, this is just a massacre.
Yeah, he was.
But yeah, I was blue. Like, I'm not going to say it was like an amazing series, by all means. No, it wasn't. But I actually enjoyed it.
Good for you.
Yep, I enjoyed it too. Yep.
Considering I gave season 1 like a 5, which is like average back then, and I gave this one like a 7, which, again, to me that's like average, a good to almost very good level here.
Well, for me, in my case, though, I mean, I was kind of knew that this thing about the season 2 gonna take into the more sort of like more deeper part of the story. I wasn't that surprised when Hajime actually go to another Labrium and just show his prowess. But the one thing that surprised me the most is like how they really went about to focus on like the internal problem going on in the castle. And just the fact how the demon army is now like involved in this a lot more now. And just seeing like one of the students was backstabbing them for this whole time.
Yeah, I honestly am glad that this arc is over, because it's been building up since season 1 that because originally they were like, there's like one traitor in the class, but it turns out there was 2. One is obviously was more of a threat than the other, and I just love the way Hajime dealt with the freaking idiot.
Yeah,
just like grabs him and just throws him.
I mean, he literally threw Hajime into the pit of monsters, so he did the same to him, and he didn't survive. So it's payback. So I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that Hajime got his revenge, but I'm just not happy how Eri got away so easily.
I was upset about it too originally, but now I think about it. Think about it this way: even if she does show up again, which she probably will, I don't think she's going to be much of a threat against Hajime.
Well, she joined up with Freed, so
I know, but that's true. But if she tried to take on Hajime by herself and not with any other demons,
of course,
around,
she wouldn't survive.
She's screwed. Mm-hmm. She's 100% screwed. She won't survive. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's pretty much the only way she's going to survive from now on is with a demon clutch.
Fair enough, I guess. But yeah, what do you guys think of the fact that Kaori getting a lot of moment this season? I think the one thing that really made me impressed with this season is that Kaori is not just going to be shoved to the side and be a very annoying supporting character. She actually shows some development, especially
she definitely got some big development near the end.
No, not that development in terms of like how she realized that she needs to be a bit more to be next to Hajime now.
Yeah,
like really work for it, like rather than just trying to use her relationship with him back in high school. She really now realize she needs to be more aggressive because Yui, Shia, Tio gonna be a big. They're like already established in Hajime's harem. It's just that she wants to be part of it. So that's why she works for it. And that's why this season we really see how she really make herself better, not like being a very annoying. Like I mean, Hajime literally in episode 4 tore her off, say, "Dude, you want to be with me or not? You've been very annoying to me. If you can't be any beneficial to me, then I'm just gonna kick you out."
Like, just
dude,
tell
Hajime was savage.
What you really want, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Hajime just being savage. I mean, I like about him. At least he's been honest with Hajime, with Kaori, because like. Seriously, like Kaori, all this before the whole competition with Hajime, she was just trying to get Hajime's attention and really annoy him. Hajime, we all know that Hajime already has feelings for Yui because they've been having sex for God knows how long. But like still though, like seeing how Kaori just like accepting Yui as what a relationship with Hajime, but willing to like try find her way to around it and trying to like, get Hajime to really notice her more. Like after episode 5, I was just like, okay, maybe she just have a point after all. So yeah, that's why I say Kaori really shined this season, especially the last episode.
Yeah, a lot of them actually got some good character development this season. Like Hajime got a lot of character development. Kaori got a lot of character development. Heck, even Aiko, the sensei.
I can see that too.
Got a lot of character development. And what I like is that we're being told essentially that Hajime, because of what's happened to him, he's not really human anymore. But there is moments where you can tell that he still has some emotion, like some human emotion. Like a good example of this was again later on in the season where he comforts like Aiko, his sensei. Like that was really sweet to me. Like he just like he was like pretty much told her like you need to focus and all that, but before you get it all together and we're back to the other students, just I'll just give you a moment. So like she just allowed her to like, tear up, cry, and just like, use him as support. And I love that because it really does show that Hajime, as much as he keeps going on about like, I don't care about any of you sort of thing, like leave me alone. I actually do think he does at least like some of them. Like he still cares for some of them. Like Aiko, like if he really didn't care, he wouldn't have come back.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have come back and helped them at all. And yeah, it could be argued that the only reason why he got even more involved is because they essentially killed Kari. So that's the only real reason why he got more involved, if you could state. But I like to think that he actually does care for some of them, but he just doesn't, because he's got this like attitude of I don't care sort of thing. Yeah, I think he actually does care, but he just doesn't want to show it.
Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, for me, like that's one thing I really like about Arifureta season 2. Like I agree with all you guys. Like there's so many things that was better with season 2 compared to season 1. We got better, more action, better animation. That's for sure. The CGI doesn't look like atrociously horrendous or anything like that. It actually looks pretty good in some scenes. Like there are still a few.
There's still some. Don't get me wrong. There is still some bad CGI in there, but I could essentially look past it this time because the story was actually good. Like, I guess if I have to be a negative on something, and this is something I think Mad Lad brought up in his reaction, I think, is that, again, in the later half, when, even I have to admit, the students were useless. Like, they just walked into a fucking trap.
Exactly.
Like, come on, Shizuku, you could tell something was wrong, and you're like, oh crap, it was this person all along. I should have seen that coming. It's like, no, duh.
It's almost like they're setting up a Hajime to come in to help them.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, I expressed this on Twitter. That's pretty much one of the main problems.
Oh, was it you? Maybe it was you, Crew. Sorry, I thought it was Mad Lad. Maybe you both said something.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's the one thing I do agree with. That's the only, for me personally, the only kind of letdown with the series is with the other characters, with the students. Like that part of the show just made me go, what the fuck are you even thinking? Like, there's clearly something wrong here with the other knights. Like, they've got like, dead eye expression, and you're thinking they're fine. Like, what the fuck? Seriously.
Like, can you get sense danger for the moment you walk into a Colosseum? Like, come on, man. Like, wow.
Really
like,
it's just all to make Hajime look.
And you know what's even more cringe? Even they asking Hajime to like make them stronger. I was like, oh my god, the very person you belittle at the start of season 1,
and now you're looking up to him.
Wow,
yeah, that is true. I did like saying that though. I did actually like the ending that they like the other students are actually doing something now. They've actually like decided to leave the castle that they've been staying in this entire time to actually go get stronger.
Well, the fighters, not the like the support.
No, not the. That's mainly the fighters though. But yeah, like they still have finally said like, oh, after what we've been through, we need to get stronger, and I actually like that. So
gotta respect them for that.
Yeah. I respect them for that, even though they put it in a more annoying way.
I have one thing to say about this. Kari got a new makeover, being in the apostle, being an apostle.
Yeah, I actually don't really buy that. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, you could claim that she's cute now and all that, but she was cute beforehand, and it's just like, was that? Was that really necessary?
Well,
like,
you
especially since they even say like, oh. Like they asked, like, "Oh, is her original body dead or anything like that?" No. It's just put on ice. So, like,
why can't you just revive her then?
I know she said. Kari said, like, let me be in this body for a little while. I was like, okay, but why?
Well,
there wasn't really given a reason.
Probably not returning to the old body.
Well, Oliver, there's a very simple explanation for that. You see. The author decided that Noi and Kaori were too cute to die, so he decided to just fuse them together into one character.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
So I mean, I gave I gotta say, Arifureta season 2. To be honest, even as an isekai trash myself, I really gotta say this is one of my favorite isekai. One of my favorite isekai. Don't say it's my favorite isekai.
I also have to say that was like because between season 1 and season 2, we had Spider, and yeah, watching Spider has actually made me appreciate season 2 more because it just made me realize how crap Spider was.
But still, though, I gotta say the one thing that I just have to be a bit picky on, the reason why to give it like a 10, is just the fact that there's some wholesome moments that weren't really necessary. Like there were some moments I said it could have been just cut down, just focus on the more darker aspect. I will give it like a 10 out of 10 if they really go with like more dark theme. But I feel like season 3, that's where they come in, because season 3 is where we might see.
Well, to be fair,
fair,
they've announced an OVA for season 2, so I don't know.
Summer.
There's going to be an OVA, and then I guess
Summer.
Depending on how that goes, I guess they'll announce the 3rd season.
I mean, it's based on how much BD sells in Japan.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see. So for now, though, just be patient and just wait for the OVA in the summer season. But for now, I have nothing more to say about the winter season. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done too. Especially since I need to get to work.
I'm just excited. Day Alive's coming back in literally tomorrow, so I just want to get.
I wish we could go through more stuff here.
I mean, there are some shows. Are still a lot more shows.
But we don't have.
About.
Unfortunately, I just don't have time today to. Honestly, the only two other shows. The only other two shows I watched this season was Takuri-san and Princess Connect season 2. That's the only other two I watched this season.
Princess Connect was one hell of a passion project, and actually, like Tanagi-san, is going on a different route. It was doing some different stuff on it by itself. Now, will it get a season 3?
I think it's done. Like, you could claim that it's pretty much done now because with that ending, like, it's clear that where can they really take it from here? Like the main. Like, who watched it this season?
What?
I watched it.
Oh,
what do you mean? Watch the whole thing?
Like, out of us, who watched Princess Connect season 2?
Not me.
I watched all of it.
I dropped it in season 1. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Well, I was going to say that they've pretty much wrapped everything up. Like, the main villain has been defeated. So, where can they take it from here? Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. There's nowhere they can really take it unless they. Well, I guess the only thing that they can really do now is keep going through the food guild thing and just like them exploring new places and finding new food things
OVAs
for their guild.
Or something.
But that's it. Like, unless there's something in the game that's more of a threat, I really can't see where they can head with this show now. I think it wrapped up perfectly. There's no need to do a 3rd season. It's done. Story is done.
Okay.
That's my final thoughts on it. And I've already mentioned my thoughts on Tatagi-san anyway. How they're going on. Yeah, sorry, Tatagi-san. They're pretty much. Yeah, they're pretty much doing their own thing with that. So it looks like.
I got one more thing to say before I'm just done for the day. Vanitas no Carte Part 2. I gotta say, in terms of like the story wise, I just like he's okay. But the one thing that really make me love this Part 2 a bit more is seeing John getting her moment. That's all I'm gonna say. John is the reason why I enjoy Part 2 more.
Yeah. Man. All right, just one thing to say. Tokyo 24, rest in peace and rest in miracles, and thank God it never turned out the way it is.
Good.
The production was dead before it even aired. Literally, the director tweeted, "Fuck this! I'm barely getting this shit together. I'm asleep." Like that's trouble.
Was this the remake?
Trouble.
Was that the the Tokyo Babylon remake that they were planning on doing? Is that what you're talking about?
No, 24Q. I think I saw, but it was just like he was tweeting about it, And then later on, as it finishes, he's just like, "Yeah, I'm done with Cloverworks. I'm gonna go to Mappa." I'm sad at how he got treated in Cloverworks. I don't even think it's really so much like all Cloverworks' fault there, because like they were still able to do justice in terms of production with Sona Biscuit and Agabi, but like Tokyo 24 like was sacrificed for those other two to succeed. And even when we don't pay attention to the production, the idea is, I don't know if anyone followed it up, but the idea is we're just discombobulated. It was a fucking mess. They literally try to pull shit that you would see that is seen better done in Kiznavir and Psychopaths, and they try to toss that in. And it was just a whole bunch of nothing. The drama was cringe. The characters were just got good. The episodic formats with cases suck. I get where having a vision of something where they could try to, stop it. How that fizzled out. And the final thoughts, nothing was solved. There's only this Asami thing that they were, this dead girl, they were there, like, she just passes on, and everything, it's like nothing ever changed. It's just the same thing over again. Like, I felt like nothing was really accomplished in the end. Like, I felt like the start and end of Tokyo 24 was essentially the same. That's how bad it was. Nothing even really progressed at all. All he just done is shown a supernatural premise, which had a good amount of potential for development, a good villain, and there's no villain, and then like there's just no progression, and there's just like a lot of characters bitching around with drama, and yeah.
Thank God dropped it.
Made the right decision. I don't want to ever see a failure like this, where it would have looked great and then it just falls flat. I want to see less of this sort of shit. If it's not getting off it's almost as bad as Wonder Priority. At least Wonder Priority had something going, and then it just fell flat on its face, especially production wise. But at least there was passion there. With Tokyo 24, there was nothing. The art wasn't even that good. There was only like one good Sakuga scene, and that was it. It was that messy. I don't want to ever see a show like this with not just only bad execution, bad writing, but just bad production.
Okay. I agree. I get you.
I'm sorry. I would love even more, but we gotta cut this short.
Yeah, we need to cut this. Unfortunately, I need to get to work.
I need to eat now. I need to get cracking my assignment.
Yeah. So guys, we would have normally had a longer one, but shit just happens. We got some of us had schedules.
Yeah.
And it just turns out that way. Maybe we could try to do a reversion of it, but I doubt it. Next podcast is probably going to be spring impressions.
Yeah, spring.
Which I cannot wait to get into. So let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we're just getting into the podcast right here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to these guys' channels. Follow me on Twitter. Support me on Patreon. Links in the description down below. And I will see you guys next time.